Hello and welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. I couldn't remember what day it was for a moment, and possibly a very long video because in recent times my battles with the Constructor IcyFruit have been lengthy, shall we say. The last one was longer than the extended edition of the Two Towers in the Lord of the Rings series. Now, there is a little bit of hope on the horizon for this one, which is called Overlooked. I looked at the comments on Logic Masters Germany, and there were one or two suggesting this is between 4.5 and 5 stars for difficulty, which given one of the comments on the last one said it was 7 stars out of 5 for difficulty, gives me hope. And also, I've seen this rule at least before. This square thing is like this counting idea. It's like a lighthouse. In the sense that it counts how many digits it sees in all of the cardinal directions that are smaller than itself. I'll explain the rules properly when we get to that point in the video in a moment or two's time. But I think the last, well, no, IcyFruit I think did a Fog of War puzzle that was based on that exact rule. So I've definitely at least seen it before, which makes me feel like I'm at an advantage, but that won't last long. It won't last long. Anyway, I'll read the rules in a moment or two's time. And before that, I've got some things to tell you about. What can I tell you about? I can recommend that you check out our new app, Classic Sudoku Volume 2. This is just a wonderful, wonderful app. If you like Sudoku puzzles, handmade classic Sudokus from some of the best constructors that exist on this planet. This is a really unique thing, and you must check it out. You will really enjoy it. Let's have a look also, though, at how the competition's going over on Patreon. So we were at 627 solves of all the puzzles as of yesterday. Let's reload it today, and 669. So it's going up. It's steadily going up, almost at 1,500 for the first puzzle. It's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal. I will say we noticed a couple of comments on Discord suggesting, do you need to bifurcate to solve these puzzles? No, you do not. That is not the way that we are built on this channel, and you should know better. No, the logic is what you'd expect, I think. So if you are stuck, there should be a clever way. What else can I tell you about? Oh, blueprints. I still haven't scheduled it. I mean, assume it's on Monday at 10 PM UK time, unless you hear otherwise. I'm almost certain it will be. And we'll revisit that strange and rather wonderful mansion then. And I've got 3 birthdays to do today as well, so let's have a look at those. Now, the first one, I'm going to say, is it Damani? I really hope I'm saying your name correctly. You're turning 32, Damani. And I know this because your girlfriend V wrote to us to say that you're currently in the throes of a PhD in forensic science, and you're going to be defending your dissertation in the spring. Well, I wish you the very, very best of luck with that. I can tell you that we've had a few people over the years who've written to us, who've watched Cracking the Cryptic sort of religiously through their PhD process. And some have claimed that watching the channel has helped them get through the Viva. So I wish you luck. I'm sure you'll do brilliantly. And in fact, I've got a picture. I've got a picture of you. This is Damani solving the puzzle on his phone at the same time that the video's on in the background. So and there's a nice looking guitar as well there in the background. So Damani, I hope you have a great birthday today, and I hope the chocolate cake is festively iced, of course. Next, we'll say a very happy birthday to John. John, over there in Toronto, Canada, has turned 17 today and loves IcyFruit puzzles. John, you're in luck. You are in luck on your birthday. My present to you. I hope this becomes a present. I hope I can solve this and this becomes a video. And John, also, thank you very much for trying to spread the word about the channel. I know that you've introduced your maths teacher. Is it math teacher over there? It might be. To to the channel, and I appreciate you doing that. And John, I hope you have a brilliant birthday today. I hope you get you can have a cup of tea and some chocolate cake while watching this video. Fingers crossed. And then finally, Denise, you oh yeah, it's definitely your birthday. I know, because you and your friend Deddy, you each write about the other, and then sometimes I'm worried that I've got it wrong in my head, but I'm sure it's Denise's birthday today. And Deddy was kind enough, because you're great walking people, aren't you? You've sent me some incredible photos over the years. I've got a couple more here from British Columbia. I mean, it's just stunning. Look at this. And then there's another one. This one, I think. This has the look of, I mean, that's an incredible photo, but I think if you were actually there, it would be even more, because look at the size of the sky. I said this to people before and they've laughed at me, but the sky, they say the sky is the same size everywhere. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can see that's a very big sky. You don't get skies that big very often. And the view looks tremendous. So anyway, there we go. Happy birthday, Denise. I hope the chocolate cake is good. I think that's all the news. It probably isn't. I've probably forgotten something I was meant to say. Oh! No! I've got the wrong glasses. That's a total disaster. I wouldn't be able to see. There we go. There we go. Right, let's have a look at Overlooked by IcyFruit. Yeah, I can sort of see better. Let's look at the rules to this one. We've got normal Sudoku rules applying. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits along a purple line form a non-repeating set of consecutive digits in any order. So if that cell is a 1, this thing has to be 1, 2, 3, 4. But it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. You can alter the order, which I've done there. So it could be like that, 1, 4, 3, 2. But it would have to be, overall, the digits have to be a consecutive series. And there's only one more rule. A digit in a square, so let's look at this one, indicates the number of cells it sees in its row and column that are smaller than itself, where digits larger than itself block vision. So let's make this a 6 and see if we can understand how that might work. If that's a 6, let's make that a 7 and that an 8. And that a 9. 1, 2, no, that's a total shank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so imagine all of these digits are lower. Let's make this 1, 2, 3, 4, and that 5, and that 1. I think that is a valid 6 clue, because the 6 sees all of these cells. And until so it's sort of looking westwards, it sees the 1, and then it bumps into a 7, which is higher than itself, so it doesn't see the 7 or anything past it. Looking this way, it sees the 3, that's lower than 6, but it doesn't see the 8 because the 8 towers over it. Looking southwards, it sees 4, 5, and 1, bumps into a 9, can't see past the 9, and looking north, it sees a 2. So, in fact, probably it would make more sense to, I'll make those blue, they're lower than the digit in the square. And that is how I understand the rule to work. And they are all the rules. Do you have a go? The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, when I did this puzzle, not this puzzle, but when I did the IcyFruit puzzle that had this strange square rule in it before, I do remember one thing. I've got hair on my face. Go away, hair. That's jolly naughty. Do you know when you get a hair? That's going to really upset me. I remember one trick that I learnt. In fact, let's make this a 6 again so we can think this through. What I learnt was that the 6 here is implicitly saying that, well, you can't just fulfill the clue from within one row or from its row or its column. Now the reason for that is that there are only 5 digits lower than 6, aren't there? So even if the 6 in its row saw all of the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, for example, that's the most it could see, so it's seen 5 digits lower than itself, it still has to have some sort of vertical component. Now, see, I think the other puzzle started in the top left and it had a square there, and that was very understandable. Let's look at that one. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so let's just make that a 6 and think about how that could work. It can't just get 6 from above and below it, so it must see at least this cell, mustn't it? Which means this cell, and this cell is part of a Renban. Yeah, actually, let's get rid of 6 there. But I think this is high. I think this is a high digit because whatever it is, let me just colour it. I'm claiming this has to be lower than it in order that because this clue needs a horizontal component for the reasons I've just explained. It can't just get enough. Whatever digit is in here, it can't fulfill its requirements simply from its column. So it needs to see this digit. Now, once it sees this digit, it sees all of those digits. Because imagine this is a 6, and say this is a 5. Does that mean we can put 7 in that sequence? Well, of course we can't, because this is a continuous it's a consecutive sequence, so it would need to include the 6 in it if that was a 6. So this is all lower than that, is what I'm going to claim, which means this is at least a 5. It can't be 9. We looked at that last time. It can't be 9, because if it was 9, it would see everything in its column and everything in its row, and that would be 18. So it should, if it's a 9, it should be 18, if you see what I mean, which is a paradox, so we can't have that. So it is 5, 6, 7 or 8. Now, is it to do with this one then? Does that have to see this as well? I don't know. I don't think so. I think that could see a bit this way. In fact, what I will say as a sort of first reaction here is that these ones are horrible, aren't they? Because they've all got 4 cardinal directions to look for things. So my trick, which I could apply here because it's sort of bounded on its westward side by the edge of the grid, is not really going to work, I don't think, in any of these other cells. Okay, so let's think this through. Is there some... Oh. No, nearly. No, that's fine. I can get rid of 8 from here. Definitely. Oh, actually, I can get rid of 8 for a beautiful reason. Yeah, I can get rid of 8 for a beautiful reason without recourse to my original way of doing it in my brain, which was to say, well, that can't be a 9. Right. If this is 8, there is obviously a 9 in column 1 somewhere, and I don't know where it is, but if it's on the top side, then all of these would be seen by the 8, and if the 9 is on the bottom side of the 8, all of those would be seen by the 8. So that means the 8 is fulfilling itself by these cells and by either those or these, which means that on the other side of the 8, there would have to be a 9 stopping its vision. So imagine those were all lower than 8. Now the 8 is completed, so you'd be saying effectively that both of those have to be a 9, but you can't put 9 on either of these Renbans if this is 8. Because what digit would you accompany the 9 with? The 9 would also have to have an 8 on its Renban, and if this was a 9, there would be an 8 in one of those two cells, which would see this 8. Now actually, we could have got that a different way, because this also would have to be a 9 to stop the sequence seeing too many to the east, and that can't be a 9 because it's in a square thing, and that's going to see all those cells and all those cells, so it's going to create the paradox. So I mean, that's all a very long-winded way of explaining that this digit, I don't think it can be 8. So it's 5, 6 or 7. Now, is there some obvious trick that we can do with that? Let's have a look at 5. If it's 5, it would have seen 4 this way. Oh, no, I can get rid of 5. I can get rid of 5 straight away. It's very clever, IcyFruit. IcyFruit is just a planet-sized brain. Right, why can we get rid of 5? Well, remember what I said. You can't fulfill the 5 by just looking at the horizontals, so it has to have a vertical component. But that means that one of these Renbans has to contain a digit lower than 5. The moment it does, what must it also have? The other digits on the Renban are also going to have to be lower than 5. So it's going to, whether it's this one or this one, it's going to increase the blue count by at least 2. And that is going to take us up beyond 5. So that can't be 5. So it is 6 or 7. So I put 6 in originally. If this is 6, yeah, if it's 6, that's going to have to be higher than it to stop the view. Because again, it has to have a vertical component, and whichever one of these contains a lower digit than 6, the whole Renban will be lower than 6, so that it will create our stock of blueliness, and then that means, so that would be orange, and if that was blue, that would be orange. Now, I'm sorry, I'm trying to see if that creates... I don't think there's an issue with that. I don't think 7 is going to be much better, is it? So 7, I see 4. I'm going to see 6 by the time either of these is... Oh, nearly. Ah, no, it's it's beautiful. Oh my goodness, that's beautiful. This is beautiful. Right, 7 doesn't work. Wow, again, I'm sort of lost in admiration for how a constructor can see this stuff. And what I mean by that is, can see the stuff before it's created in the, because if you sort of told me, oh, this is a rule set you've got to work with this and come up with some clevernesses, I think it's very difficult in a vacuum to do this. To come up with stuff that's this brilliant. It really is. And that's what IcyFruit has not only invented the rule set, but then come up with things like this. Now, why is 7 impossible? Well, it's because we see 4 in the row. We know that there has to be a component in the column. But we can't take all 4 of these, because that would make this count 8. So that means that on one side or the other, there is a stopper. And what's the form of that stopper going to take? Well, it's actually going to have to be an 8, 9, isn't it? I don't actually think this one can have 8, 9 on it, because it would also have 7, and that would see the 7. So the 8, 9 would have to be here to stop the 7 from seeing too far this way. But the moment these two are 8 and 9, you can't then stop the 7 seeing everything above it. It just, because all the high digits have gone. So you're going to see all 4 of those and all 4 of these at least, and that makes this 8 again. It's just the balancing. You can't make the balancing work, so that's a digit, and that has only taken me 20 minutes, which is, well, it probably is a record for an IcyFruit puzzle. Now here is an interesting thing. No jokes. Yeah, so now either this one or this one is blue to ensure we've got a vertical component completing the 6 count, which means this is definitely higher than this. So that is 7, 8 or 9. It cannot be seen by the 6. Okay, that was not ideal. I've had to be away from the computer for a while there because the garage called and my car had to be well, it's ready. I had to go and get it. So that's taken me away from the computer for quite some time at a most inopportune moment. Let me just have a look what we were doing. I was putting 7, 8, and 9 into that cell. And that was because... I've totally forgotten. I should have just taken a few moments, actually, just to try and resurrect my thoughts. Where were we? Where were we? I got this 6. I was very excited about getting the 6. And I got the 6 because... Why did I get the 6? Okay, I remember knowing that these were lower. And yes, it needs a vertical component. So one of these is, yeah, so I remembered, right. So one of these is going to deliver the extra 2 that the 6 needs. That gives the 6. The 6 is therefore core 8, and that's why I've put 7, 8, and 9 into here. And you can't put 9 in there, can you? Because that's too big. 9 is never going in a square. Therefore, one of these, exactly one of these is lower than 6. And then on the other side of that, so imagine these were both lower than 6. This would have to be a 7, 8 or a 9 to stop the 6 seeing too many. This would have to be a 7, 8 or 9. So that would be a 7, 8, 9 triple. Oh no, that's okay. That's actually okay. Well, I mean, I'm not saying it's definitely okay, but I can see if that was 7, 8, 9, given this has to be 7, 8, 9, those 2 digits would have to be the same digit. And that is... I don't know. That might be okay. I can't see immediately why that's not okay. So let's not look at that. Well, let's look at it the other way round and check whether the 6 can go upwards. So then this would be 7, 8, 9. Well, whoopsie. This would be a blockage. So this would be, both of these would be higher than the 6. So we'd still have a 7, 8, 9 triple in the column. It would just be in a totally different place. That's really cool. It's either going to be those 3 or it's going to be those 3 that are the 7, 8, 9. I mean, no, I'm not prepared to do it. But I mean, it would allow you, if you were particularly pencil mark minded, to make those 2 digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Okay, it's probably this one, isn't it? Let's think about this one. So this one sees a great plethora of digits because it sees the 6 and all the blue thingy. Oh, actually, what is the blue thingy? The blue thingy is 4 digits lower than... Yeah, okay, so the blue digit string I mean, this is almost as silly as putting these two as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but maybe it's worth it, because this has to be a consecutive sequence. So it's either 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's 2, 3, 4, 5. So that sequence definitely has 2, 3, and 4 on it. Now that one is definitely got a horizontal component of 5. Yeah, that's lovely. That is lovely. This can't be 8. And the reason it can't be 8 is you can only put 1 9 into column 6. And why does that matter? Well, it means either on the top side, the north side, or the south side, there is not going to be a 9. And that means all the cells are going to count that are either those or those. So if this was 8, you're either going to have 4 counting there or 4 counting there. And that's going to add to 5 counting, and is too big. So that is a 7. And now 8 and 9 are getting awfully close to these Ren bands, that might be impossible. And the 7 has got 5 in the row. Okay, so let's think about that. That's interesting. I mean, this person is a total genius. Okay, in this column, we need to have something that counts. But as with the 8, if that was 8, we said, okay, I've got to avoid having all 4 counting on one side or the other. And it's similar with the 7. We've got 8 and 9 that we can use to shield the 8 from seeing 4 digits in its either above or below it. And we must do that on both sides. Because if we didn't, if we say that was an 8-9 pair, then all those are going to be seen. And 4 plus 5 is too much to be equal to 7. So there is an 8 or a 9 above it and an 8 or a 9 below it to shield the 7 from seeing too many thingies. And I think that means this digit is 8 or 9. And the reason I think that is, imagine it wasn't. Then in this column we can't put 8 and 9 on this 2-cell Renban. It's such a lovely idea to put this into the puzzle, and for it to matter at this point is weird, but it does. Because if that has 8 or 9 on it, it has both 8 and 9 on it, and all 4 of those would count. So this can't have 8 or 9 on it, so the 8 or the 9 would be here, and that doesn't work, because then all these 3 would be seen. 1, 2, 3 plus 5 is 8, so that doesn't work. So this is 8 or 9. And we know that it must have some sort of vertical component, so that's definitely what I'll call a blue digit in the column. So now I'm on a count of 6. So either, let's just make that green for a moment, meaning a digit that's stopping the sight of this 7. Now the other one that's stopping the sight of the 7 is in one of those 2 cells. It can't be here because the 7 would see too many. So one of these is 8 or 9. It looks like it's trying to make that Renban big, doesn't it? Oh, I suddenly thought, can you put 7 on? No, but you can. That 7 doesn't see those cells. It only sees the extreme cells. So if this was, for example, an 8-9 pair, I think that would work. Also, here's another thought. No, sorry, I have to complete sentences, you can't just stop talking. Sorry, I was trying to think about, if this was 8 or 9, then I need more horizontality in the 7 clue, so this would be blue, which would mean it would be whatever's not used on this rem band. So that would be a 1 or a 5, and this would be an 8, 9. I mean, that doesn't look like it can possibly work, can it? Is it possible both of those are 8, 9? I mean, it might be fine, I don't know. It just looks like you're going to have too many high digits. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. No. Don't be daft, Simon. If that's 8, 9. So, okay, so what I'm trying to visualize, and I'm failing so miserably, I cannot tell you. I mean, this is sort of, you know, the equivalent of missing an open goal in football from 5 yards. All I've got to do is kick the ball in the net. All I've got to do is visualize what happens if that's green, because that's going to make that blue, and this an 8, 9 pair. And my brain is telling me that that doesn't work for some reason, and my mind, but my other brain, the brain that's actually meant to do the thinking, is not understanding why that can't be an 8, 9 pair. I mean, it obviously puts lots of high digits on that D-shaped thing, and lots of high digits on that. Okay. Oh no, that's all right. No, I was suddenly thinking, because I would have used up lots of my high digits in column 6, so I wasn't sure that digit could be okay, but I mean, actually it could even be a 6, couldn't it? If that was a 9. No, even that works, because if that's a 9, that would be an 8. And then one of these, oh, that would have to be an 8. What's that doing to that, though? That doesn't feel right. Hang on. Maybe that's... Okay, so maybe it's nothing to do with this. Maybe it's to do with this. Oh. What? Okay. Okay, I don't know if this matters, but I have just noticed something about this cell. And that is the following. Let's make this cell yellow. Now, if that is yellow, I'm going to claim that it's not possible for yellow to be cornered in by those digits. And the reason is a bit similar to this digit, or indeed any of the digits, that you have to be able to get the digits that are lower than yourself from more than just a single row, or a single column, or a single box, don't you? Because imagine this was, I don't know, a 4. So I'm saying these two are both higher than it. Well, it could possibly see those cells, but there are only 3 of them, so it can't work. If this is 3, you've only got the digits 1 and 2 available. So you can never get enough cells that are lower than yourself. If you can't get outside your own box, right? So this cell is higher than one of these, at least, maybe both, but definitely higher than one of them. I'm just thinking, if that's a 9 now, that is putting a huge amount of pressure on this. I don't know. There's something here. There is something here. It's getting very difficult, but I don't think it's impossible. Maybe. Okay, so the thing that got me thinking about this was green here. Mavericks flying over, as you can no doubt hear. So if that's green, I think this is an 8-9 pair. Now, is that really possible? It would mean, if that was 9, that would be 6, that would be 7, 8. I mean, you could basically paint all the digits. No, you can't. No. Ooh. No. No. Okay. All right. I can disprove. I mean, it's quite complicated, but I can disprove this being green and this being 9. It's sort of a nested if statement. Maybe. So if I could, hang on, let me think that through. So if I could disprove the alternative, which would be green here, 8 here, 9 here. Ah. Well, I've noticed that would be 8 in that conundrum. So this would be 8. This would be 9. This is very, very complicated to try and see. I think if I put it in, I could see it, but I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do it without bifurcation, and Mark's stipulation for bifurcation is if you can see it in your brain, then it's not bifurcation. If you can't see it, it's a moot point. So hang on a minute. I'm definitely not having Mark say, no, you bifurcated. He would love to say that, and I refuse. I refuse to let him say that. Okay, so what I'm currently envisaging, just to explain what I'm trying to see in my head, it's a bit. No, it's not like that at all, because they can actually do it. I was going to say it's like a good chess player, but unfortunately I'm not. I wouldn't deign to be so arrogant. I'm trying to think about, if this is a high digit, if this is the digit that's stopping the 7 in its column, then we need a blue here, so that's going to be a 1 or a 5. This is an 8-9 pair. In that situation, I can definitely tell you that that's not 9. And I'm now trying to think, if this is 8 and this is 9, then I've got to put 8 on this rem band, so there's going to be 2 8s here. Which means this digit is neither 8 nor 9, and yet I do need it to be fairly high in order to cater for the fact that this rem band is quite high. This thing going up here. And what do I mean by quite high? Well, hang on. 7 is going to definitely be in one of those cells. So, how does? Oh, hang on. I've nearly got something clever. Because that 7. No, you can't do it. You can't do this. You can't do it. Okay, I'm now fairly confident that I can see you can't do it, but it's to do with this. It is to do with this line, but it's more than that. It's to do with this being high, which I hadn't appreciated has an effect on this square, but it does actually. This is actually getting seriously beautiful. It's very difficult to see. But let me explain the idea that I think IcyFruit has had, and then we can see whether or not I'm right that it doesn't work. So I think IcyFruit has concocted a situation in which IcyFruit has noticed that these digits, well, particularly these 2 digits, at least one of them has to be lower than this. But in the world that we're currently examining, both of these rem bands are pretty high. And then IcyFruit said, okay, But in the world where this is a green digit, this simply cannot see very far, because this is an 8, 9 in this world, and this is an 8, 9. So this digit here, which has to be higher than one of these digits, it has to be, and yet this is full of big old digits, and the maximum it can see is sort of 5. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's that simple. I mean, that would be epic if I could allege that. I might be able to allege that, mightn't I? Is that the point? And you're all thinking, you're thinking, oh, he is so stupid. How can he not see it? It's just totally obvious. I know it's obvious if you can see it, but I'm trying to see it. I know I'm failing. What? Okay, I think maybe that is the point. The point is that if this is a green digit, it's an 8 or a 9. And because that becomes a blue digit, this becomes an 8 or a 9 as well. So these two digits are enormous. No, and no, you need this to be high. Because what's putting the pressure on the size of this digit? It's its need to be bigger than one of these. So I think you do have to put it all together. But I think I can confidently tell you now this doesn't work. And this is what I'm seeing. So let me explain. If this is 8, 9, this is a blue digit, and this is an 8, 9 pair. Both green, because we're saying that greens are 8s and 9s. Now, the simple thing to disprove is that this is 9. I say simple, I mean it's the most ludicrous thing to say, but let me try and show you why that doesn't work. If this is 9, you can see that this digit has to be 6 on the Renban, because it can't be that this is now a 6, 7, 8, 9 triple. Now these digits are now 7 and 8, and this is an 8. So we need this digit to be bigger than one of these. We've shown that because this cannot get, whatever it's in this is, it cannot only be seeing those cells. It will never get enough. So it has to be bigger than one of those digits. Well, it can't be, because it can't possibly see far enough, can it? So that's out. But what if this was 8 on the other hand? And this was 9. I think it might come down to being the same point, because this Renban's obviously chock-a-block full of huge digits now. You can see on the D you're going to make this an 8 because you're going to have to put an 8 on it. And you can see, I think, that one of these digits is a 7. I think that is fair. There is definitely a 7 on this Renban, and it can't go here. So one of these digits is a 7. Now, the lowest possible digit that we can put on this Renban is 5. And that's if this wasn't a maximal Renban. If this was 8, 7, 6, 5. 5 would be the lowest we could possibly go to, isn't it? So it's possible one of these is a 5, which means this digit is at least a 6. It has to be, because it has to see outside of those 3 cells. Yeah, okay, so I'm warming to this theme. This is clearly the idea. Because once you've had that thought, and this has to be at least a 6, you can think about how it's ever going to catch 6. Because it can never do it. It can never do it, because it's always going to bump into a massive digit before it ever gets to a count of 6. So yeah, okay, so that is definitely wrong, and the most elegant way I can describe it is that it's the number of digits this can see, given it must see through one of these must be lower, and once this is 8 or 9, and this is 8, once this is an 8-9 pair and that's an 8-9 pair, this has to be at least 6, and it can never see enough, because it'll always bump in to an 8 and a 9 in those two positions in this situation. That is the elegant way of stating it. I mean, it takes a while for me to get to that point, but hopefully that is not only sufficient, but you can see the cleverness of what IcyFruit has built into this. Now this is massive. Well, I say it's massive, it's something, because that means this is the 8 or the 9, and this is the blue. And now this has to stop the 7 from seeing too many. So we're in this world. And now, well, now these are a bit less pressurized than they used to be. These digits are lower than the 7. Now, what does that mean? Well, I don't know. I'm very... okay. Well, hang on. Can I not pull this trick again? And now I understand how this square works. I'm going to pull this trick again. And what I'm going to say is that if I've got to put an 8 or a 9 in this row, if I was to put it here, how can we fulfill this square? And the reason that this is a good question, I think, finally, is that this Renban, because it's now got a green on it, this huge green thing on it, we know that the lowest digit this can have on it is 5 in one of these squares. We know this is at least a 6, therefore. Oh, hang on. Yeah, no, I'm wrong, because it can see in that direction now, because that green's moved up. I can't do the same trick. Naughty Simon. Ah, no, that doesn't work either. Or it nearly does. Okay. What I was thinking is that if I've got 1 or 5 to place in one of these cells, and I've got the other of 8 and 9 to put in the other. Now, obviously, if this is 8 and 9, this Renban is now 6, 7, 8, 9. These are a 6, 7 pair. That would have to be greater than one of those, so it would be at least a 7. But now it can go this way. I'm less sure. I'm less confident that that's impossible. So, okay, I'm not sure. But if this was the 1 or the 5, and it's on a Renban with this huge digit here, this would have to be very specifically 8, 6, 7 in some order, 5. Oh, and then it's almost impossible to put 5 on the D. 5 would have to go at the bottom of the D. And that would be 6, 7. And this would be 8 or 9. And that would have to be at least 7. So it would have to see a long way in it horizontally, but I think it probably could. Wow, okay, so I don't know what to do again. I suppose, do we pencil mark this Renban? Is that what I'm meant to do? It's not a beautiful thing to have to do, is it? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Except, no, that one is only 5. It's either the green digit or it's a blue digit that's sufficiently high that it can get on the Renban with this. So that is 5, 8 or 9. Yeah, so these can never be 5. Because if this is green, this is a 6-7 pair, and if this is 5, oh, it's always a 6-7 pair. That's weird. Okay, that's rather special, isn't it? That's always 6-7, whatever this is. I hadn't realised that. Because if this is a blue digit, the only way to connect it would be to an 8 here with a 6-7 pair. And if that is an 8 or a 9, this is a 6-7 pair because it has to be on a 6-7-8-9. Oh, IcyFruit is off the charts clever. Right, this is 7 or 8 now, because it has to be bigger than one of these digits. And that's going to be very important for the following reason. I don't know what that reason is. It's probably... I don't know. I really don't, actually. I really don't. So I know these are different. Oh, I see they're different. So that's 8. Oh, IcyFruit, you've done it again. Why do you make me look so dumb? Oh, yeah. It's obvious, isn't it? Sorry, it's obvious when you see it. Because these are different. If this was 7, those would both be 6. So that's 8. Actually, that might not be useful. That's a weird thing to note, but that's now definitely a green. So the only thing stopping that 8 in each direction is a 9. Which may or may not matter. So if this was a green digit, it would be a 9, wouldn't it? And that would mean the 8 here would see 3. So it couldn't see all of those. That would be too many. It would have to see exactly 5. It's not this, is it? They couldn't. No. Oh, hang on. It is. Oh, this is it's sick. It's sick setting. It's the most. Yeah. I mean, it's. Oh, hang on. No, it is. It is. It is. Right. I'm now going to tell you this is not the 8, 9 in this row. Because if it was, this is a 9 now, because we've found out this is an 8. That means that this 8 has to see 5 horizontally, and we have that task created for us to work out how on earth we're going to achieve that. Now, the first thing we can realise is that you can't put a 9 on here, because if you do, it's got an 8 on it as well, and that will clash. So there is no 9 there. Now, what about if the 9 was here? Does that allow the 8 to get the 5 horizontal cells it needs? No, it could only get 4. So the 9 is not there. It would have to be here. And now it doesn't work, because now I see 6 in the row. Plus 3 here is 9, and you just can't do it. So this is not 8, 9. This is 8, 9. It doesn't change the fact this is still 6, 7. Yeah, 6, 7. That meme. So this is 1 or 5, which is very annoying. It's great if it's 1, because then this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But if it's 5, you don't even get a bonus from knowing there's a 5 on it. Okay, so this is definitely seeing downwards now for some considerable distance. See, maybe... Oh, no, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my colour scheme slightly, because I can now relate these 8s and 9s to each other, can't I? In the sense that, I'll make that one purple for a moment. You can see purple is different from this green, and these are on the same Rembrandt line, so that's got to now be purple, and that's got to be green. So these are the same digit, and this is either red or green, but purple or green, sorry. But I don't know which it is. Okay. I know these digits. See, this is these are definitely all blue so far as the 8 is concerned. That might matter for some reason. Right. I don't know what to do now. Let's think about this. I mean, it's really not... It's not very easy to know. I can send... Oh, no. Oh, no. No, no. Everything I try, it's not working. Naughty brain. Okay. Would it... No, sorry. I know I'm not spotting very many things now, and believe me, I'm cross with myself about that. But how am I meant to think this through? It's so strange because it just doesn't feel like, okay, right, that one is seeing nothing eastwards because you can't make this bigger than that. Given it's in a square, it can't be a 9. So whatever that is, it has a westward component. But it could have north or south on top of that. So again, I don't feel like that is restricted. And it might be restricted for some reason I don't understand. One of these is a 6. One of these is an 8. One of these is a 9. I mean, if these were 9, 9 would be in one of those. Oh. So if 9 was on here, this would be a 7, 8, 9. This would be 9, 8. That would be 7. That would be good actually, because it would do the ordering of the 6, 7 on this Rembrandt line. I don't know. Or could we argue about... There's nowhere... I mean, it's really strange because you think that having worked this out, I would be in better shape as to what to do next. And I feel like I'm not. I feel like I did a great deal of work. Unless for some reason I'm meant to understand this 8. But it now goes this way and it goes this way, and it might, well, to the extent that 9 is not next to it, it might go a bit up here, it might go a bit there. I mean, 9 can't be on here. That's the only thing I'm seeing. If that was 9, can that be 8, 7? 9, 8, 7. That would make this 6, that 7. Oh, I still do. Oh, hang on. Yeah, the 8 can't be blocked in both of these directions, can it? Ah, so maybe I've got to think about this 8 again. Oh, I mean, it's so... that digit sees 8 and 9. So that's definitely a blue digit. So now I'm on a count of 5 vis-a-vis this 8. I can't put 2 9s into those cells. So I'm getting at least one more up here. So I'm now on a count of 6 at least for this 8. Now maybe Yeah, so that means this can't be 9, because I'd see too many westward. I'd see 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, it's way too many. Right, so 9 in this row is the question, I think. It's the question. Oh, lovely. Oh, it is. Oh, I can't. These puzzles are too brilliant for me. I can't showcase how clever they are because I'm not clever enough to do it. Right, if that's a 9, we're too broken. Because if that's 9, I see 7 in the row because the 8 is higher than everything else. And I see 3 in the column. That's too many. So that's not 9. So the 9 is in one of those 2 cells in this row. And why is that so beautiful? It makes this an 8. And if that's an 8, that's a 9, that's an 8. That's a 9. So 9 is one of these 3 cells now. Oh. And okay, that's good. That's good. At least we got another deduction done, didn't we? So therefore, what? So in this row, we're definitely seeing this one from this one, because the 9 is over here. So we're seeing 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's gonna be the 9 in that column somehow. I know it is. Okay, we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe 7. Oh yeah. Lovely. Right. So again, can either of these be 9? No. Because if either of these is 9, we're seeing all 6 beneath it, 7, 8, 9, and it's too big again. So these are not 9, so they are seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that pinpoints that the 9s go there. Good grief. It is absolutely unbelievable setting this. Right, and that's surely going to do things. Let's double click my 9s now. Okay, so 9s are up there. Where's 9 in column 4? It can't go here. It can't go in a square. That's huge because 9 is now on this Renban, which is a 5-cell Renban. So that's 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, goodness. 8 is nearly on this Renban, which would, of course, make this a 5 if it was. Now, this one, isn't that a problem? Well, it's clearly... Well, it could only be as high as 5, because it can't see through an 8, and it can't see through a 9, so it's no bigger than 5. But we know it must have a vertical component. So this one must see this cell. And it must see outside its own box, because if it only saw those 2 cells, it would be a 2, and these would both have to be 1. So it's at least a 3. So it's 3, 4, or 5, and this is lower than it, and this is lower than it, and this is lower than it. I wouldn't ordinarily do that, but I mean that does feel like logic that could have been baked into what IcyFruit intends us to find. Now, okay, I think it's going to be that Renban, because getting this 9 on here, that felt very, very nice. No, there's a 9 in one of these too. Okay, here is a little point which must be relevant. Oh, this is a good point. No, this is a good point. Right. This cell. That must have a horizontal component, which means it must be bigger than at least one of these digits, which means it is 6, 7, or 8. But the beautiful thing about that is that we can now say, but hang on. This must be on this Renban because it's a 6, 7, or an 8. And where does it go on the Renban? Well, it's got to be that one. These are the same digit, definitely. That's rather lovely. Okay. Well, it's not. It can't be 8, can it? Isn't it going to be just far too large? If this is 8, it's seeing everything in the column, so it sees 7 that way, and it'll see those two. That's 9. It's definitely not 8. Oh, I had a really... That's almost a good idea there. Well, oh no, this is easy. This is easy. Where's 7 in box 2? And the answer is in one of those two cells. So this is 6, which means 6 is down here. And now 6 is in one of those cells, which I would like it to be here, please. So I got my 6. I would get lots of 6 7s sorted out. Okay, I don't know what to do with that, but I can get rid of 6 of these of the rest of the rem bands. And in one direction, this is going to get Harry Styles, isn't it? Because it's going to be a 5 in one direction in order that it gets out, but in the other direction it'll be a 7 or an 8 and be trapped in. So this is definitely not a 5. Five is definitely in one of those cells. Can we do... Oh, the 6 here, I should change the colour of that because apparently I've made 6s red at some stage in the last little while. Now, what do we do next? So 6 is in one of 2 places in box 5 of all things. Seven is in one of 3 places in box 8 by Sudoku, using this 7 pencil mark up there. So if that's 7, that would be 7. And I don't know what to do, as so often. Try not to sneeze. That's one of the things I'm going to try to do. Right, okay. So I'm very close to being able to say... that this isn't 987 now. The only way it is 987 is if this is 98, because this can't be 9 or 8, and this is 7, which would make this a 7. It would make this a 7. I don't know if that's okay or not. We'll make one of those a 7. I don't know. I'm not sure. What else could we do here? Is it to do with... this row? And how much this 6 is seeing? So if the 7, 8 was on this side, the 6 would have to see a long way up the grid. Or do we know anything about 8 in this column, for example? I mean, I know it's not here. But I'm just thinking that the 8 is going to block the 6's view, isn't it? So the 8 is here, here or here. Okay, it can't be here, can it? Yeah, this might be relevant. Yeah, okay, if the 8 was here in column 4, the 6 would have no vertical component, and we know that can't work. So the 8 is definitely in one of those 2 cells, which means by Sudoku it's actually in one of those 3 again. Which might matter, I don't know. So, okay, this digit now on this 2-cell Renban is a weird digit because it sees 5 in its row, 5 in one of these cells, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So it's no bigger than 4, which means this digit's no bigger than 5. And that's total. I mean, that is total and utter nonsensical rubbish. I mean, it's true, but it's look at the column. I've already got a 6 pencil marked up here, so it's not. We haven't advanced the cause of knowledge. You're not going to get a PhD for that, Simon. No, you are not. Okay. Wow, I don't know where to look. I'm not sure if there's some way to rule 987 off or on this. I suppose if this... I don't know. Oh, there couldn't be 9. You couldn't put 9 on there to rule out. So you'd have to put... So if this is higher than 6, it is 7, 8, very explicitly. And that might be a problem. Nearly. That would make... Yeah, because remember, there was... Oh, yes. In fact, that is a valid point. Do you remember right at the start? I didn't make... No, that's not right. No, it's not right. Okay, so sorry, if this is 7, 8, 9, those 2 digits are the same. Oh, they could both be 9. And 9 would go here, and 9 would flap around the grid gloriously. And 8 would go here and here. Now, this is not IcyFruit style, is it? It's not IcyFruit style to make me chase digits around the grid. IcyFruit likes complicated but clean logic when you find it. So find the good logic, Simon, and stop messing about and finding nonsense logic. Okay, I am trying. I'm trying all your patience. I know that. I am trying. Is it the fact? Is it something to do with? If that was 5, no. What about if 8 is on this Renban? That might be a good question, because it can't have 9 on it. Look, so this Renban would be 87654. It would be 87654. This would be the 5. The 8 would be here. So I'd have to put 4, 6, and 7. The weird thing is that looks okay, doesn't it? I mean, we just have no pencil marks to help us with that. Oh, bother. I don't know then. Okay, so... okay, this digit here is definitely lower than 6. That is true. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. What about that one? No, that's definitely that definitely needn't be. If that's 6, that can't be 1 again. Or maybe it's to think about if this is 1, whether the world breaks. This would be, that would put 8 in the corner. If that's 1, that's 8, and that's 6. Oh, we get loads of things done. That would be 7. That would be a 5, 8 pair. Or perhaps... Perhaps it's this digit somehow, and how big that can be. It could be. I'm trying to work out whether I think that could really be a 7, because if it can't be a 7, it's a maximum of 5, and if it's a maximum of 5, it might get a bit more constrained. Oh no, it couldn't be 5 actually. Oh, okay, let's think about this digit. What is that? Now it's either, the highest digit it can be, I think, is 7. It sees 9, 8, 6, it sees 5. And then low digits it could be would be 2, 3, 4 then. Now, is there some reason it can't be 7? If it was 7... it's going to be blocked in its column by the 8. So it's going to see 3 digits for certain. So it would have to see 4 digits in its row. Now, if this was the 8, it would see far too many digits, wouldn't it? Because it would see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at least. So that would not be the... if this is 7, that could not be the 8. So it would see these 2, it would see these 3, that's 5. It would see... I would have to see those 2, and then its count would be wrong, because the 6 wouldn't block it, but would need to block it. So it's not a 7, and that is a very low number. But that could be low. So we don't know whether this is higher than it or not, and it's got to have some verticality, but it can easily get it now. So that's not... okay, so what I'm thinking as a result of that is that that is not the next step. There is something else here that we're going to have to focus on to find our next proper deduction. But where that is, I'm not sure. Is it to do with... I know... okay, let's... oh, no. I want to keep those in. I'm wondering whether I should shade them sort of both red and orange, indicate to try and keep track of 6s and 7s. It might not matter. If that was 6, that would be 6. Would we learn anything from that? No, I don't think we would. Oh dear, okay. I'm frightfully aware of the fact this is probably very obvious, and I feel very guilty about that. Okay, let's think about... I don't know whether it's the original 6 or not. It could well be. I don't know. Where do we think the weak points in the puzzle are at this juncture? Actually, that's not a straightforward question. It's just not, is it? In this column, okay, I think I might have to go a bit more pencil marky than I would usually do. This digit's very low as well. What about that one? Do we know anything clever about this one? It looks like that wants to be a 7-8 pair. I think that might work nicely. Oh no, that wouldn't work nicely. Oh, in fact, that's interesting. If that's bigger... okay. That doesn't work. I mean, goodness me. Right, I think this is where we look next. So what I'm going to argue about is whether this can be higher than 6. Now, if it is higher than 6, how are we getting the 6 to complete its mission? Now, this can be 5, that's fine. This could be lower, that's fine. But then that's going to have to be the 9. So the maximum, if this is higher than 6, we're getting 2 horizontally. But vertically, there is an 8 in one of those. So we can't get the 4 we need. It's just impossible to do it. So this is lower than 6, and that's 5. And that's been available for ages. I just didn't see it. Okay. So now I've got a 7-8 pair in this box, look. And I've got a 5 here, and the 5 will block the view of this one, but it was always going to. This is no longer a 5, look. This, oh, that one's no longer a 5, so that can no longer be a 4. These can't be 4s either, because these have to be lower than whatever this is. So that's getting really constrained. This can't be a 5 anymore. So we probably do now need to think about this 6 a bit more. The 6 is definitely seeing these 3. I mean, my colouring is so all over the place. It's definitely seeing that one. 1, 2, 3, 4 for sure. So if this wasn't 8, this would be higher than 6, and it would have to be 7. And that's probably fine. I don't know, though. No, what I was about to say isn't true. I mean, here's a weird point, but I'll make it. These digits, they're all lower than 6, 7, 8, and 9 because they see a 7-8 pair on the Renban. So those digits are all tiny. Well, not tiny, but they're quite small. So now, oh, that feels like it matters. So in the row, I know I've got 6 here, but I've got at least one of 7 and 8 here as well. I mean, is it worth noting that those are the same digits? It might be, because obviously this digit can't be that one on its own Renban, so those are the same. That's going down there, but it could be 8 by the looks of things. If it was 7, if it was 7, it would be magical, because that would push 8 onto this Renban, and that would make this a 5. And other things would presumably flow from that in a way that made sense to the world. Actually, I'm going to have to be careful with this 2, 3, 4 as well, because I've made this blue. That's applying to the count of the 6. I wonder if that is 8, then both of these are lower than 6. Would that be helpful? How would that affect this one? I'm not sure. Okay. I don't know again then. Can we do any better? Oh, that's rather clever. Oh, that's it. Oh my goodness. So, right, this is lovely. This thing's doing even... Oh, no, I'm wrong as well. I'm wrong. Bother. Although, no, it's still good. Where's 6 in box 1? The answer is in one of 2 places. Now, where's 6 in row 2 now? It's not here, it's not here, so it's in one of these 3. And that means this is 7, and this is 6. And now that's... Oh, that's it. That's it. That is it. And the reason it's it... Oh, hang on, but there might be more. But, well... Oh, hang on, there is more. The reason this is jolly exciting, and I know you've all seen it already, is that this digit now is not 7, 8 or 9. so you can't put 9 on here. And that makes this 9. It's doing more than this though, don't worry, it's doing more. The reason a 9 is a purple. The reason it's doing more is that now, how do we stop the 6? The only way to stop the 6 is with these 2 digits now, because we can't put 9 on here, which we'd have to do if you put any of the digits. If you stop this 6 with this cell, it has to be a 7, 8 or a 9, and that makes that a 7, 8, 9 triple, which breaks this. So this is how it gets stopped. You can't put 9 on this one, so this is 7, 8. That means I've got a 7, 8 pair here, look. It probably does more, but also this digit has to be higher, because these are now lower than 6. This can't be another lower than 6, or we beat this count. So this has to be 9, because it can't be 7 or 8, and that's another digit for the goodies. So this is now 9, another digit for the goodies, and no, oh yeah, no, that's good. All the 9s. We've got all the 9s in the grid. Okay, great. Now these 2 digits are the same, so I'm going to label those as B, and B, oh please, nearly, I can B is in one of those. If it was 8, again, that would be super useful for that thing. Oh, there's a 7, 8 pair, so that's not 8 anymore. So 8's really getting restricted in box 9. Okay. And therefore, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, this 7, that's doing a little tiny bit of work. So 7 is an orange. We should make all the 7s orange, shouldn't we? We should make all of the 6s red. Try and keep track of them. So yeah, 7 is just simply Sudoku'd into box 1. Now, can we do the same sort of thing? Yes. Okay, where is 7 in box 4? I don't know the answer to that, but I can see it's in one of 2 places. So that places 7, look, in box 6, which means one of these digits is 7. I mean, this is all getting so cluttered down here. Oh, hang on. Right. Oh, this is it. Done it. And now, if you study the D Renban, it hasn't got 6 on it. That is weird, but it does. It just can't have 6 on it by Sudoku. And if it's a 5-cell Renban without a 6, what is it? It's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it's that, then 8 and 7 are definitely not on it. So that is definitely 7. That's 8. That's 6. Now, okay, that's going to unwind some stuff. So that's 8 now. That's the digit A as well. So that's that one. So that's that one. That's that one. That's that one. Look at this. This is it. That's a stupid thing to say, because now it won't work and I'll get stuck again. But I really feel that's a big breakthrough. He said. Okay, so this is now a 6, I think. So how many 6s have we got? Oh, no, okay, we haven't got all of them. We've got a lot of them, but not all of them. 7s. Okay, I've got a lot of 7s now. I can get another 7 here. And now I've got all of them. 8s. Okay, I've got a lot of 8s. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get them all. I can get them all. There's one there. That's good. So I've got all my 9s. I've got all my 8s. I've got all my 7s. I haven't quite got all my 6s. Depends whether this can be a 6. If it's a 6, this is a 5. And how on earth are we... Yeah, okay, there's definitely more to do here. Okay, these are all low digits. Now, can we do anything particularly clever with that? Oh, yeah, we can do one thing. Let's look at this digit, which is 1 or 5, and ask where it goes in box 9. It's got to go there, look. That's the only place it can go. It can't be here by pencil marking. It can't repeat on the renban. I did nothing. It did nothing. I'm going to replace this with A, just to remind me that they are the same digit. Oh, no, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Now I can use this square. So it was right to say that I shouldn't have been looking at this square earlier, because it couldn't do anything, but now it can, because it has to have a vertical component. And how does it get a vertical component? It's not getting it from the 6, so this has to be a 1. So that's a 1, that's a 1. 1 is in... Okay, we can get rid of A, I think. We can just write 1 into these. And so that's definitely seen by this digit. This can't be 4 because it's going to bump into the 8 too quickly. So this is 2 or 3, and this must be lower than it, so it has a horizontal component. So this digit is 1 or 2, which means this isn't 4 on this little tiny renban. IcyFruit, it's just ridiculous trying to deal with this planet-sized black brain. Oh, right. Now there is no... Right, so look, this renban is now 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is probably not relevant. This... That can't be 4. It simply can't see enough digits. That's got to be a 3. Well, that's great, though. Okay, because that's what it is, so that's not 3. 1, 2 and 4 into this column. 4 is in one of these two cells, so this isn't 4, this isn't 4. But these cells are now 4 and 5 in the row. So these digits are 1, 2, 3. We know that's not a 1. Okay, that's great, but it's not done enough. So it's 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So these digits are 4, 5, 6. And that's not 6. So that's 4 or 5. And that's very important for oh, this can't be 6 now on this renban. Because if it was 6, we'd have too many digits from 4, 5 and 6. All 4 of those digits would be from 4, 5 and 6 if that's a 6. So that's not 6. This is 6. This is 6. And all your 6s belong to us. There we go. Boom. So now this thingy is not 4, 5, is it? Because that would break this. So it's not got 5 on it. So what? Oh, it's not 1, 2 either, actually. So hang on. So this is... Okay, that's interesting. So this has got to be, just from a process of elimination, it's got to be from 2, 3, 4, which means it's got to have an odd digit on it, because it's a consecutive pair of numbers. So it's got 3 on it, and... No, that doesn't do anything. It removes 3 from here. And here. Yeah, okay, but... Yeah, look at this renban. That's a 3-cell renban, selected from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So it has got a 3 on it. Because if it was low, it would be 1, 2, 3. If it was middly, it would be 2, 3, 4. If it was top, it would be 3, 4, 5. And so there's a 3 in one of these now. Which means these are not 3. 3 on this renban here has only got 1 place to live now. Ah. Okay, that isn't 3 anymore. This renban has a 2 on it by exactly that same sort of logic, but applied to even digits. That's got to have an even digit on it. So we can get rid of some 2's in the grid. Oh, nearly. Nearly. Oh dear. I don't know what that does. 2, there's a 5. Look, in this row, 5 is in this domino, so these don't include 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh golly, I don't know what to do again now. Okay, what about that digit? Where does that digit go in box 9? And the answer is the only little cell it can go into is this one. So that is a 2 or a 3. That gives me a 1, 2, 3 triple in this column. So these digits are... That's good. Yeah, look at this column. These are a 4, 5 pair, and for some reason we seem to know the order. So that's 4, that's 5. This is a 2, 3. I've got a 2, 3 pair in this column now. So that's a 4 or a 5. 5 is in one of those. Oh, I don't know. Oh no, hang on. I've got a 1 here, so that's a 4. Is that right? Let's just look at this row and try and understand how I've got to that. So I've got 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, 2 is on the renban. 3 is in the column. That is a 4. So this is a 5. That's a 4. That might be helpful. That's not 5 anymore. So now this has to have 2 on it, because it's now either 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4. But I don't think I know how that works. I'm not sure. There's probably a way to know that, but I don't think I do know it. Right, so this is a 1, 2 pair. There's a 1, 2, 4 triple now, so this is a 5. Please, come on, Simon. Let's get this sorted out. That's not a 1. Oh, it's not a 1. This is a 2, 3 pair in the row. Bother. It's probably this thing, isn't it? Is there some reason it sees 1 there? So to be a 2, it would have to be double 1, and then that would just be hard. Oh, that would be easy. Okay, 2. Well, okay, that's always 2. Whatever this. Well. Yeah, whatever this is. Look at this cell. If that's 1, this is 3, and that's 2. And if that's 2, that's 3, and that's 2. So this is always 2. So that's always 3. 1, 2, so that's always 3. Let's see if that does something. I've now got a 1, 2 pair in the top row, so that's a 5 in the corner, which means this isn't 5. And that's a 3 now. Right, so this is a 1 or a 2. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. And this needs to... Right, this is good. This is good, because this 3, it sees 1 there, so it's got to see this cell, so that's got to be lower than 3. So that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 1. This is a 4. Oh, that's good. 5's got to be here, so that's going to be a 4. So now I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple in this row somehow. I've got a 1 up here. So 2, 4, 2, 5 pair. So this doesn't include 2, but we said there was 2 on that renban. So that's 2. This is a 3, 4 pair. This is a 1. This is a 1. So that's a 1, that's a 3. This has got to be a 4. That's a 4, that's a 3. Oh, okay, that's all good though. We're still, yeah, this is a 2 now. So that's a 3, that's a 1, that's a 2, that's a 2, that's a 5. We must be there. That's a 3. Okay, let's delete 3, let's delete 1, let's delete 2, 4 and 5 in the corner. 4, whoops, 4, 5, and 5, 4. Boom, I think. I don't really even know how to check this. Let's just click yes. Oh, goodness me. Solve counter 66. IcyFruit. Well, it's another long video. Let's just leave it like that, shall we? And that felt like just a series of moments in which Simon was made to look stupid over and over again. I'm so sorry if that's caused excessive shouting. I could understand it. I mean, it's in my defence, I did get interrupted at the start, and that did, I think, cause me to sort of. I find it hard to rebuild the logic, but anyway, it's still. I mean, IcyFruit is a genius. There's nothing else to say. It's an astonishingly original idea, and the way it solves is unique to IcyFruit. No one else is making these weird puzzles that just completely blow your brain. Like, they blow your brain out, or my brain out, in a particular way. It's like they're designed to be anti-me. Boom, I got you again. Boom, I got you again. And IcyFruit does it in the same, within the same few minutes, just over and over again. It's so embarrassing. Anyway, thank you very much if you're still watching. I will look out for a comment saying you were still here at the end. It's not quite as long as some of the videos, but it's always a relief to get through IcyFruit, let me tell you. Let me know how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.